Welcome back to episode 43 of the Point Podcast. We're back, baby. Ben's back. Say something, Ben.
I'm back, baby.
Come back to me, camera on me. Okay. We're back and we're black. Shout out AC/DC. That was the first concert I ever went to was AC/DC.
That would have been hectic.
2008, Black Ice Tour. Went with Mum. It was fucking hectic. First time I saw tits in real life. That wasn't as well. They had like the big
You went outside and touched grass.
Yeah, that's what it was. No, they had like the cameras. I'd go around the stage and like obviously on the side of the stage I'd have like the crowd and like every chick was just taking their top off. I also went and saw AC/DC 6 years later. They fucking sucked. They were really good in 2008. Sucked in 2013 or 14 or whenever I saw them. That is a band. They used to be my favorite band. They need to stop performing. They do. They're over the hill.
Mr. Young looks rough in all the...
Yes.
Like they performed like 3 weeks ago.
Yes, they did.
And that man looks like a skeleton.
Yeah, see...
Wearing a skin suit.
They're still wearing the same costumes.
Yeah.
Because that's all
He
they're known
shrunk.
for.
It would fit him still.
No, they were definitely extremely influential.
Okay.
And very
yes,
good music.
But I mean...
Not my cup
if
tea
they're
anymore.
going on tour, they're wearing the same costumes that like their big hits showed them in.
Well, really, the only one who had a costume was really Angus with the schoolboy outfit. Which I was actually watching a little doco about AC/DC the other day, and before they became bigger, he was just trying out heaps of different suits and costumes for everyone he played, but he decided to do the schoolboy one and it just stuck. But they're definitely over the hill.
Oh, yeah.
They need to stop.
Very much so.
But also, I don't agree with the sentiment that you get to a certain age where you need to stop, because another band who had a show the other day, their final show was Black Sabbath, had their final show. Don't know if you know much about Ozzy at the moment, but he's pretty bad.
Yeah.
He's pretty bad, but he's one of those people where he loves to perform. So he was sitting down on this like massive throne thing, and apparently it was hectic.
It looks... The crowd was
Really
packed.
good.
I
rock
agree with you.
royalty.
Like, it's not a certain age; it's a certain level of ability that you
The health.
not get to, but that your level of health deteriorates, but your level of ability to perform would deteriorate with your age.
Yes, and also I feel like it's even want to. So I mean, I don't feel like AC/DC probably don't want to anymore, but Ozzy loves to do it. So he just keeps doing it. And I'm like, Tony Iommi still looks great, and the other guy
They had some big names at that.
had heaps of people there.
Massive. I saw the set list for it. It was like a full A4 sheet of paper just full of like all the biggest bands you can think of.
Yeah, they had a massive photo at the end of the night where Ozzy on his chair. This was like a proper photo backstage, and it was all the people there. So it was like all of Metallica. I'm forgetting people, but there's fucking everyone there. Like Dave Grohl was there, I'm pretty sure. Tom Morello. I would have to get it up. David Ellefson.
I mean, look, there's plenty of people that still perform that I think should just be like, no, you should have packed it in longer. Like John Farnham, honestly.
Oh, he's had
should've.
45 reunion or final tour things.
Yeah, I know. The other one, who was it just performed at the Sydney 2024 New Year's Eve thing?
I don't remember, sorry.
I can't remember.
Didn't Robbie Williams?
Yes, thank you. Robbie Williams. Yeah, I couldn't think of the name. He performed. I remember watching him, and like Robbie Williams was massive when he was on top. Like well above quite a lot of other people that have achieved almost the same level. He's definitely showing his age at this point. Like you watching him, he was panting at the end of that. Like he was full on just like about to keel over.
Giving it his all.
Oh yeah, he
was.
But like the second half of the song basically just stood there and just pointed out the crowd. I was like, yeah, you're out of breath, mate.
As did either of you see Better Man?
No, not yet. I haven't watched it.
So, you know, the documentary or the biopic that came out of Robbie Williams, I think it might have been end of last year, right at the start of this year.
I don't have any memory of there even being one, but okay.
He's the monkey.
He's a monkey in the whole movie.
What?
Yeah.
Surely would have seen this at work.
No.
It flopped hard, but the thing is,
it's fantastic.
People are like,
Everyone
this movie
loves
is amazing. It's a biopic about him, and he plays himself, like he voices it, but it's an animated monkey, and everyone else is normal.
Like Weta did all the,
This
so it's like all the
sounds
stuff.
so like a
Yeah.
fever dream.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll get it up.
This sounds weird as heck, but I'm there for
Yeah,
it,
better, man.
honestly.
Yeah, like Weta did it all. So they've got all their like Rise of the Planet of the Apes like technology for the ape, and it.
That's what he looks like.
Oh, I do recall seeing this. Yeah, I thought it was a thing to do with Planet of the Apes. I just okay.
No, so apparently it was really good. There's like he had like a really like a classic concert, like Glastonbury or something one year, and there was something that happened, and they visualize it by him fighting demons as the monkey in the movie, and it was like really cinematic and looked really good. The problem is it absolutely bombed. So I don't know if you know enough about Robbie Williams. Massive in Australia, massive in the UK, obviously, because
I
That's
remember.
it.
I remember.
no, but let me fucking finish. He's not known by anyone in the US.
No.
No, he did not break the US market at all. So that was the big thing that really was a nail in the coffin. No one watched it there. It got like it made like it was some ridiculously small number opening weekend in the US, and they're like, fuck, this movie's doomed. The problem is, I don't know if they're going to do any cool biopics like this anymore, because biopics are starting to get very oversaturated.
Well, the next one I think that's due out is they did the Bob Dylan one recently with Timothy Chalamet Ding Dong. The next one's the 4 Beatles movies they're doing like 2026 or 2027.
Well, are they doing one each?
Yep. They're the
doing
same
it.
story, but from each perspective, and then they're releasing each week of a month in August in like 2027.
They're doing the Beatles cinematic universe.
That sounds so
The
dumb.
BCU, if
The
you will.
BCU.
That sounds so dumb.
It's like PCF, but
Yeah,
different.
it's got a few big actors in it. So
It does. He's got old mate as
Yeah, but
Paul
George.
Mescal. They've got what's his name? He's the Irish guy.
Old mate who's in Stranger Things and Human Torch is in it. He's one of them.
I don't
Sorry,
know.
Alicia, I'm forgetting his
I've
name.
literally just had that thought as well. Yeah, I don't know. He's the guy who plays the Metallica song in
But
Stranger Things.
big name actors don't make a good movie. It just means that you had a massive budget to spend on the movie.
Oh, he's not like, he's just like, he's up and coming, this guy.
No, but you said they were like they've got big name actors.
No, he said that. And
Whoever
also,
said-
Joseph Quinn.
Joseph Quinn, he's the only person I know that's in these movies.
Okay.
But they've also got the Beatles movie.
Oh, so they're going to have all 4 of them, and
All
then they're
4
going
of
to...
them. Paul
then they-
Mescal is Paul McCartney. Barry Keoghan is the guy I was thinking of.
Okay, yeah, I don't know any of those guys.
And then Joseph Quinn, and then the other guy, I have no idea who he is. But yeah, 4 movies.
His name's Ringo.
No, he's playing. The other guy's playing John Lennon. Yeah, is releasing in April 2088 with 4 movies.
I never really listened to the Beatles at all.
I think there's a lot of people where if you didn't have Beatles growing up, you're never going to touch them.
Yeah.
You won't. I got into Beatles, the Beatles a lot later in life, like early 20s. And there was just like a couple songs. My granddad got me into the Beatles. He's a big Beatles fan. My grandma really liked it as well, but he's given it to me now. I always said, Granddad, when you die, in your will, all I want is your original copy of the White Album. Because he's got a really, really rare copy. They made it in stereo and mono at the time.
That's interesting.
And they've got there's actually an imprint in the top left or bottom left or something of like what copy and number it was and things like that. I forget what it is, either the stereo or the mono version. I think the mono version is really hard to get for some reason. So it's a lot rarer, and he had it. So I just want that.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want to sell it or anything. I just got it, and I just play that. It's got some really cool posters in it, mint condition. I've been very tempted to frame them. But the White Album is a great album. I think they're one of those bands people love, like especially these days, just to hate on the Beatles.
Yeah.
Welcome to our gaming podcast, by the way.
Yeah, it's like
we're getting
Nickelback.
there.
What do you say?
Like Nickelback. A lot of people just jump on the bandwagon of hating Nickelback.
I don't.
Some people have legitimate reasons.
That's not what I'm
dispute that.
saying. I like how you're comparing Nickelback to the Beatles.
No, I'm not comparing the bands. I'm
know,
comparing
yeah.
people just jumping on the bandwagon of hating a thing just because it's the popular thing to do at the time.
Nickelback, I feel like, has had a 180 in recent years. Same with Creed. They were two in the same. But I feel like people these days, especially like to say the Beatles weren't really that important.
Oh, they sure were.
100% were.
Even for people who don't like it, you should be able to admit that.
Yes, they were so important. There's very few figures, I think, in the world that have made such a notable change in any market, and I feel like they're still one of the biggest.
I can think of one or two, but they're all related to music somehow.
Yeah,
like Michael Jackson would be one.
Michael Jackson, and then like Elvis. But as time goes on, I feel like he's not as impactful compared to those two.
Well, there's a lot of stuff coming out about Elvis as well.
He was as impactful, but he was impactful in an earlier
impacted bowels, more like it.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't really have anyone who hits the same level of hype.
Are you telling me you're not excited about Taylor Swift?
No, I am not.
Good.
That's probably the one person who's come close to those same levels.
Oh,
yeah, no, he's right. One thing, I saw a video the other day by, do you guys know a YouTuber named Rick Beato?
Name's familiar.
Yeah,
he's like I think Rick's in his early 60s now. He's a music YouTuber. I got into him maybe about probably not quite 10 years ago, probably a bit younger than that, like 7 or 8 years ago. And because he used to do a lot of like guitar related videos, he was a producer and he's really like taught at Berkeley, like guitar and things like that.
What's his content mainly revolve around?
These days, just about music in general.
So like deep dives on like the history of certain bands?
Yeah, and they're talking about modern music, things like that. I'll get up a picture of Rick and you might have seen it because he's always in his thumbnails. Rick Beato.
I do think we've looked at this before.
This guy, have you seen him before?
That second picture looks very familiar, but...
63 now. He's got, I reckon he's got at least 5 mil. He's a pretty big YouTuber now. Yeah, look, there we go. 5.08 million subs. But this is the type of videos. Let's look at... he's talking about the haircut style of Oasis. Then he's talking about real or AI bands. He has interviews with some pretty big musicians. I watched this video though, Pop Music Exposed, what people don't know about pop music. And I knew this, but he talks about it a bit more in depth because he's got that behind the scenes knowledge as well because he was a producer. About how modern music, because people were going on about Sabrina Carpenter, her newest song, it's called Man-Child or something like that.
Yeah, it's not very good compared to the songs before it.
Yeah, and the whole theme is about how talking about man-childs and things like that. Not your type.
Man in the Sonic jumper looks confused.
Happens,
yeah,
I get dunked on by both of these guys.
Hey.
No, but it was more in the fact it's just the typical. There's like definitely a trend in a lot of pop music now saying like "fuck men." No, that sounds very incelly. I don't mean in that sense, but like just like a it's more of like an empowerment movement, and I think that's just used as a thing on the side.
Usually as like a breakup song or something like that.
Yeah, sort of, and then like some of them aren't, but either way, I don't really have a problem with it. But people did, and they were going at Sabrina Carpenter's like, how could you write about these things? What Rick was pointing out in this video is that 90% of modern music isn't written by the artist.
No.
They might have a single credit. Yeah. So he went onto that song. He's like, well, in this song, it's written by 2 people, then Sabrina Carpenter. So she might have changed a couple of lyrics or something like that, but she was the 3rd credit and barely touched any of it. And he was going back and was like, look at going through each of the people that were on the Sabrina Carpenter song and all the other songs that they had written for everyone else. Barely anyone writes music anymore.
No.
They're just a performer. They might be able to sing.
I remember seeing an interview thing with Benny Blanco, whatever his name is, the producer. He goes through and he's like, we wrote this song in like 2009 and then no one wanted it and then we pitched it to this person and then like Rihanna ended up singing it and going through all the different artists that had asked for the song and then ended up selling it to other people. Like he just heaps of Rihanna songs. He's like, we tried this one for Katy Perry. She didn't like it, so then we gave it over to Ariana and all this sort of stuff, and it just keeps going. It's just like a bidding war for who wants the popular song.
What I was going to say was I've seen similar things where people go through and like not on the songs themselves, but more on the actual career of the performer. They'll track through, yep, here's their early years where everything was self-written, self-performed. Then they got to this stage, they got picked up by this label, and now they're writing less of their own songs. They're still performing all of them, but they're usually having stuff ghost written for them, or still with
collaborating a bit more and things like that. And I don't know, I feel like I can feel it a lot more in an artist if they've written that song.
Yes.
And I feel like it's just a better performance, because I mean, you look at a lot of these modern artists and it's majority pop, and pop is just the biggest. It's always going to be it's called popular music for a reason. It's always going to be the biggest genre. I feel like it's a big thing in rap as well. You're either really good and you write your own stuff, or everything's just ghost written.
Other stuff and just cover other stuff.
I think that's definitely why I've always been into bands, because it's very rare that you see bands, they get the music written for them. They make the whole song.
Well, yeah, because they usually, like, depending on the band, they've got 3 to 4 members, sometimes more, sometimes less, but they will actually have, it's not all on one person to do everything. They can collaborate. They can actually bring multiple ideas to the table.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's a big thing.
And not exhaust the one person who's bringing it.
I think that's why. I mean, the closest thing you have to an impactful artist these days really is Taylor Swift, but I feel like that's almost solely just on popularity, not on actual ability.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone who isn't a Swiftie is going and raving about how good Taylor Swift's music is.
No,
I don't think it's bad.
No, I enjoy her music, but
I enjoy it, but
it does my head in hearing it every 15 minutes.
Yes.
And the people who talk about it more so are more of the problem than the actual songs and artists themselves.
Yeah. And it's a big thing, especially
I'm gonna cop it at work.
yeah, really.
I'm only speaking facts, so
yeah. Sorry, Kirk. But no, it's just I just can't get over it, and it sucks because I feel like there's a massive drought of bands to support local music as well. There's a lot of it around here, and there's a lot of good bands around here. But it's just, you just don't. I swear, everyone that go famous these days just goes down the pop route. Everything's made for them. Just no soul.
Yeah, it's empty. It's like
it is.
The catchiness is there, but then when you actually listen to it, because like, how many songs do you know of that like you can not maybe recite them from beginning to end, but like you know most of the words, but then you actually think about it, it's like, wow, these lyrics mean nothing. Like
the only songs I can sing basically the whole thing of, I'm like, wow, there's actually not even necessarily deep, but a proper meaning to this and everything like that, because a lot of the time it's a proper band.
Yes, and there's actually meaning behind it, not just...
And it's usually all before 2005.
Yes, honestly.
It's usually not, we need another bridge. Quick, someone think up something that rhymes with like the last couple of lines.
Hi, guy.
Yeah.
Hi.
Shy guy?
What I was going to say was like, I mean, we see it plenty with our friend groups and that we're with at the moment. But these like bands that like come out of nowhere, they're super popular for a while and then they die again. You see it so much, and yes, I know I'm going to copy from music. You see it so much with schools where the kids all get like super invested in these bands, like One Direction, Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift. Like when I was working at the school I worked at, every single kid there, they all knew who One Direction was. Even the ones who like were like, I don't like One Direction. They all knew who they were. They all knew the band members' names.
It's because One Direction happened to have...
I mean, it was Disney backed as well, wasn't it?
No, it was
Simon, Jonas Brothers.
Simon, Simon Cowell backed.
Was.
And I think Sony or EMI or whatever. But a lot of those, One Direction happened to have people in it who were good at singing. I don't know if any of them necessarily write their own stuff. I know Harry Styles definitely doesn't. He's got a good voice and he can perform well.
Yeah.
But they're used just as a marketing tool for these big companies.
Yeah.
The biggest example of that is K-pop groups.
Yep.
People who defend their K-pop group, bro, you're defending a multinational corporation. Yeah. They're a shell. They get told exactly what to do. It's just because they're a pretty face. Like some of them will be fine and that. Like, but I see it online a lot. You probably see it on Twitter.
But it's also
I saw a lot on Twitter yesterday about K-pop actually.
Yeah.
It's also because like they're equating what those perform, and they are performers.
Yeah.
They're equating what those performers, their background, their culture is to what they know here, which over there it's completely different.
Yeah. I'm not saying that they're not talented and that they don't work hard. A lot of them, it's literally grueling schedules. Like you're going to like a dance practice like 4 or 5 days a week, and then you're doing X, Y, Z. Like it's ridiculous. But again, it's just they're getting paid by a massive,
that's it. It's
multi-million-dollar.
It's a job for them. It is a career. It's not like you look at someone like I can't even think of any now at the moment. You do see some similarities with how boy bands and that were marketed here, but it's
the same. It's
way
more extreme over there. Yeah,
it's everything plus 10 over there.
With artists and like the companies behind them now, it's like we want you to make the label. Like we want you to make a song that's good on TikTok.
Yes,
it needs to be short, catchy, and then it's going to get stuck in people's heads. So then it's on TikTok. They make money. Then they go listen to it elsewhere and make even more money.
Yeah.
It's all just about gaming the algorithm.
It is. Yeah, gone are the days of a band coming up, becoming popular.
Not to skew us too far.
Back towards games.
No, it's still on music. But not to divert the conversation too much. But in terms of people who still write their own music and is a single performer, Ed Sheeran,
yes.
do you reckon?
Yes, I was just about to say, because he is actually a writer for a lot of these big pop people.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran is, like, people like to clown on him.
Yeah,
I've always liked him. I don't like a lot of his music, but
I don't like a lot of his music either.
Always seemed like a great guy, and the songs that he writes are catchy. And he's done a good job with it. He's one of the only people.
I think that is why people harp on it, because the song gets stuck in their head. They dislike that. So they blame the performer. It's like, don't blame the performer. Blame the radio station that decided to play it every 20 minutes.
I don't even listen to the radio anymore.
I haven't listened to the radio in a very long time.
Actually, no, we've been listening to the radio for the last 2 weeks. So we haven't been able to avoid it. It's been blaring outside of our house while it's been being painted.
But also, like any shopping centre you walk into would also be playing it.
Yeah.
It's not even just free-to-air radio.
When was the last time you, for example, when was the last time there was a new band? Just in general band. Not even one that writes their own music, which generally it is. I can't tell you.
I don't listen to, I stopped getting a lot of new music when I stopped listening to the radio station.
Yes.
And I just listen to music that I enjoy rather than whatever's new.
I think it would also be because most bands, they have a one-hit wonder and then they disappear again. They don't really stick around as much as like ones that have the backing of, a music label or anything else does.
I don't know about that. It definitely was a thing, but I'm not even seeing those one-hit wonders. There's definitely like your Triple J type of like indie Australian bands still around. It's a massive thing, but they never really break like the US and become like worldwide popular. I just can't think of any.
No, then they just tour Australia for like the next 30 years and make enough money to get by.
Exactly. I only know of like legacy bands that are still around, and even that's really dwindling. Like there's so many that you see, this band broke up, or this one, or this one, or this one, or they're not doing anything anymore.
I saw a video of Jane's Addiction the other day. They like had their reunion tour, and they got to like the third show, and then they started fighting again, and then just cancelled it.
There's, don't want to harp on music too long, but there is not many bands around that are those legacy ones that aren't infighting or having XYZ problem. Like the big news from the last year was that Oasis got back together, and they had disbanded for 15 years.
Yeah.
Because Liam and Noel couldn't
agree on anything.
Yeah, exactly. And they're back. It seems like they're good, which I'm more glad because they're brothers.
And we bought tickets.
I was more just thinking, well, they probably also got to a stage where like, money's running a bit light at the moment.
No,
maybe.
they are. I mean,
like both solo performing for years.
To be fair, people online were saying, Noel did just file for divorce with his wife, or she divorced him. So it's like, maybe we got to get some money back in the account. But no, I think they are well and truly generationally set, like both of them, money-wise.
Well, I think it was Liam in 2018 or 2019 at
Yeah.
Balls Festival. All he did was just play Oasis songs.
Because
Just
that's
by
what people
himself.
want.
Yeah, and
That's what people
He
want.
played a few of his own songs, which were okay. Couldn't tell you the name of any of them. But then he played Wonderwall, and everyone was having a blast.
There is very few bands that I feel like they make it past maybe a decade of writing like really good recognizable music.
Yeah.
Like Oasis have got they've got a fair few good albums, and there's songs from albums that I like, but it's very much like, oh, it was these two albums that everyone wants.
Pulling it back to the Beatles just before we finish up.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen anyone
In a yellow
who-
submarine.
No,
have.
anyone like
And a Titan
surrounding
submarine,
a
isn't it?
band who wasn't part of the actual band but was like a well-known figure get as much hate that like from the fan base as what was the name, like Yoko Ono?
Oh, but Yoke, I mean,
homebreaker.
I am very much of the opinion that Yoko is the reason the Beatles aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
And
Have
I
you-
know
have you
Paul
seen-
has sort of
sorry,
said the opposite now, but there was a long time where it was very much alluded that no, she fucking ruined it.
Yeah.
She's fucking crazy, bro.
There's that video I saw of
That's what I was about to bring up. Yeah.
I don't know what they were doing, and they were on some radio or on some TV show, and then she was like screaming into the microphone, and they turned her down. So she kept trying to go between the different.
It was a collaboration between the Beatles and a black singer. I can't remember his
Chuck
name
Berry?
though. Yes, yeah.
What do you mean? What she's doing her?
Yeah, yeah, and then it's
yeah,
just
no,
like,
I know that.
Thank
yeah.
God for the sound guy that turned that down in the thing, and
Yeah.
she's there like no,
And
making
you look
no
at Chuck, and
noise.
he's just like, "What's she doing? Like, what is she doing?"
Yeah, no, like, yeah, Yoko is definitely a hated figure, and I think it's fair.
Well deserved.
It's well deserved. But no, it's just sad that you don't see many artists around anymore. And the good ones, I mean, bands, and the good ones are sadly having their problems and slowly disappearing. I'll be very keen to see Metallica this year. What a surprise.
Yeah, they've got a lot going on the rest of the year.
Yeah.
We're out a week apart, I think.
There's only a few bands that I've got like a list where I'm like, I need to see them.
I would
That's
like
one
to
of
see
them.
AC/DC, but I think I need to go
I've
back
seen
in
them
time,
enough.
like
Yeah,
10
I
years.
think it's a bit too late now.
Well past their prime.
Yeah.
I don't know who else. Oh well, I mean, I'm on a massive Radiohead kick at the moment. I'd probably say them. They're probably one of the bands I will say that I never really dipped in quality at all. Their first album, which is the one with their biggest song, is probably their worst, which is Pablo Honey, which has got Creep on it. I didn't even play that song for about 15 years because I fucking hated it. So many of their
A
other
lot
songs
of bands do that when they have that one hit that everyone loves, and they just refuse to play because we have other music. We don't want to keep playing the same
Like
song.
who does
Yeah.
Wonderwall?
You mean Oasis? Who we were
It
talking-
is Oasis. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
But
I just
that-
know Wonderwall.
See,
I
that's
can't remember who.
yeah,
did
that's a lot more prevalent. I think with Radiohead at least, they have got so many popular songs that
People
are so
don't know
many,
their Radiohead, like the
so
songs.
many better songs. Like everyone knows Paranoid Android, but they probably couldn't tell you it, and then they'll hear it and be like, "Oh yeah, I know that song." Yeah, that's Duran Duran.
Yeah, I know.
And that was not a popular song till that
Till
meme
the
came
Metal
out.
Gear edits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
but
that's
no.
what makes songs popular these days, as you were saying.
Yeah,
is
TikTok.
They want something that can go viral.
Well,
Yeah.
Creep got popular again after they had it in Guardians 3 at the start.
Yeah, that song it was always super popular.
And then what else? They had the Nirvana song in the Batman.
Yes, I
That
will
went
say
ballistic.
Something in the Way. That song 100%. I think it was definitely like a song on Nevermind that people didn't really listen to. Like everyone was listening to the big songs on Nevermind. Like obviously Smells Like Teen Spirit, Lithium. Oh fuck, I'm trying to think of the other songs on there. There's a ton of super popular songs, and that was definitely like one of the B-side ones. But now, yeah, super popular. People love that song.
But I think a lot of people, they'll hear a song like that in a movie and go, oh, that's cool. I'm going to go listen to that album or whatever. And then
Yeah.
you go, there is so much
Or
other songs on that playlist. Like Dad does that a lot. He'll hear a song on the radio, then just go buy the CD and just listen to it and go, that was good, and then put it back and never listen to it again.
yeah, that or a game. Like how many people do you know that bought a song, like a album, because they heard one song.
It's like we were talking
Grand
about
Theft
GTA.
Auto or Or what I was going to say was, do you think Breaking Benjamin would have ever been as big as they were if they hadn't been in Halo 2?
I think they would have. I think it's a very different sector fan that got into them because of I forget what that song's called. I just know only the strongest will
I only
survive.
remember one. Like I remember the tune in that of most of the songs. But in terms of like the actual name, the only one I remember is Diary of Jane. That's the only song of theirs that I remember the name of.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that's a bit different story, and they don't explicitly say this is Breaking Benjamin, by the way, while you're doing this thing in the game.
Well, I was talking about it earlier about the intro to Pro Skater 4. All I would do was load that game up just to watch and listen to TNT at the start because they had that little skate montage right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
And now hopefully it's in the new one that came out today.
I think TNT's in. I don't know if the montage will be there. Well, I mean, it probably won't because it's for 3 and 4. Yeah. And I feel like 3 was a bigger game than 4.
I hope they have it like in an extra section where you can watch it because I know they had...
That'd be cool.
They had a new title when I played the demo with like Nia Houston and a few of the female skaters and stuff in it as well. Cool. It's not as cool as the original jumping over the water.
I'll need to look at the set list for that. It'd be really cool if they added some new songs that were actually like old ones. There'd be so many fucking cool things with that. Just before we get off music, just something real quick. What's the best album of all time?
You're asking a lot there.
That's debatable.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got a couple that I would like, but the problem is I usually don't
Sonic
remember
OST.
the name of them.
Yeah. Make Believable.
Yeah, that one's a bit forgettable.
7
honestly.
Rings in Hand.
No, I prefer
Sonic song.
I prefer the
I'd
soundtrack
gather
for
that.
Frontiers, honestly.
Oh.
I don't know. There's a lot of things you can put for them.
I'm just thinking, Brock's contribution to the best album of all time. I prefer the Sonic Frontiers album.
You were singing tracks from Sonic and the 7 Rings, and I was like, no, I don't really like that one.
I know, but you
prefer a
didn't say
different
anything
Sonic.
else.
No, because I can't think of any others. Because I can
Sonic
think of
Riders.
individual songs.
You
but
know
I
what?
can't
Fuck it. Let's make this like a half music theme episode.
okay.
I'm going to look up what are some of the best albums of all time. Best albums of all time. Hey, people like it, I guess, when we go on tangents about one subject for a long time because we fucking talked about Death Stranding for nearly an hour last week and people fucking loved it.
Yeah.
So,
I wouldn't call that a tangent, though, on a gaming podcast to be talking about a
we
game.
talked about it a long time.
I'm sure we can tie this back into...
We can at some point.
I've been watching the Matrix movies again, and I listened to the OST of Matrix Reloaded. That has some cool music on it.
It does.
When I was driving to work yesterday, I listened to like Mona Lisa Overdrive all 10 minutes, and he gets to like 4 minutes in, he goes hard house music. Oh, so good.
Shout out to if anyone wants to see a cool show about reviewing albums. Sean Chatfield from Mega 64 has got a show called Record Club where he's got a book that's this 500 best albums of all time by Rolling Stone, and he puts it in a random number generator and it'll pull out a number. So he listens to the album and just talks about it for like half an hour or so.
If you're trying to get down to 1, you can click 250 to 201 right at the top.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I didn't want to interrupt you.
I reckon we go...
The top 100.
We quickly go down from top 100.
I was going to say just do the top 30, but sure.
Oh, just like quickly and then we'll go a bit more in depth. The band Music and Big Pink, I don't know what that is. Taylor Swift, Red, I think that's a little bit laughable in the top 100.
Well, I mean,
Impactful.
Olivia Rodrigo was in the top 500.
Yeah. It also doesn't say how
good album, but...
Doesn't also say how it's quantifying the best, whether it's the most sold or if it's like most popular or
Puppets 97, that should be a lot lower. I think that is the best metal album of all time. Not just because I'm wearing a Metallica shirt.
I won't disagree with you.
Quickly, Brock, I'm trusting you with this. I'm really, really trusting you with this.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, can you get up and flip that screen so I can see it? Oi. Good job, Brock. Good job. I'm just a little bit worried. That's the one that overheated. So Puppets at 97. I think this is one of my favorite albums of all time. This is a no skip 10 out of 10 album. Every song on this album is fucking amazing. REM. I don't.
They're a band I haven't heard in a while.
In a while, yeah. Drake. I'm sorry, but I can't say something like that. Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott is
Very
pretty
goated.
good. Yeah, pretty goated. Jimi Hendrix Experience, Axis Bold as Love.
We need cool
That's
album
pretty good.
covers again.
We do.
That
We
was-
really do. I haven't listened to that Springsteen album.
Yeah, they're doing a Bruce Springsteen biopic as well.
Not surprised.
Jeremy Allen White.
Hunky Dory 88, David Bowie. That is a very good album. I'd be comfortable with there. Miles Davis, Bitches Brew.
I'll be adding that one to the playlist.
The Doors. That's a pretty classic album as well. The Doors have never been a band I've really gotten into. Plastic Ono Band for John Lennon. Yeah, I'll give that a miss. Fuck you. 84 for Back in Black is pretty outrageous. This is the second most sold album of all time.
Yeah, however, are we sort of biased toward it because it's an Australian band? We would have heard it
No,
a
it's a
lot more.
great album.
It's just a straight up good album.
I know it is. I'm not
Yeah.
disagreeing with that at all.
I have
but
the CD somewhere.
we would have also heard it a lot more than like someone growing up in America.
No, I would disagree because this is such a massive album. It was massive there as well.
Okay.
And the one thing I will say about Back in Black is it is probably the best. It's one of the only, if the only I can think of, example when a band's lead singer is no longer in the band and they got someone else and were more successful. This is the first album that they had Brian Johnson on after Bon Scott died. And that's why it's called Back in Black.
I mean, we were listening to another band that's done that.
Who?
Electric Callboy earlier.
Oh yeah, but I have no. I like that one song with Baby Metal. I haven't listened to anything else.
Oh, but that's another band where the lead singer's been like changed out and they've done better than they were doing previously.
Were they very, very big to start with though? Because AC/DC were very big and then they came out with Back in Black. And
No, nowhere near as big as that. They were decently, I mean, they were okay.
God, they had a lot
popular.
of albums.
Yeah.
Sex Pistols. I never really got into Sex Pistols much. Frank Ocean, Blonde. People fucking rave about that album.
He hasn't done anything since.
Yeah, he literally hasn't. It's been like, 10 years, I think, now. College Dropout was pretty goated when it came out. Let's not talk about Kanye anymore. I keep seeing this album cover around, this one Beyonce, and she's got fucking massive tits on it for some reason. And it's always like, every time I'm walking into like a shop, it'll be right at the front. I'm like, fucking hell, about to poke my eyes out. NWA.
Also a great album.
That's a very good album, straight out of Compton. Kate Bush, that was another artist that blew up because of Stranger Things.
Yep.
Kate Bush was always massive. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But she was famous for not allowing people to use her music, and then she goes, "I like Stranger Things, use my song," and then it just went ham.
Yeah, it went crazy. Jay-Z,
Coltrane,
James Brown, Stankonia, Outkast, they're extremely goated.
I think 64 is not a bad spot.
I think that's pretty good for that, yeah. Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses, 62, that's pretty good. Van Morrison, Stevie Wonder, Led Zeppelin 4, 58. I mean, that's a pretty goated album. I like Led Zeppelin. I'm not a massive fan. Lizard loves Led Zeppelin.
Interesting.
Lizard's got good music taste. She also loves Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, 55.
I would have assumed that would be lower, but
Yeah, same. I prefer The Wall.
Yeah, I agree.
I prefer The Wall. I really like Dark Side of the Moon though.
I'm still yet to do it and listen to
What, Wizard of Oz with it? Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
Station to Station, 52 by David Bowie. That's pretty, that's lower than I thought that would be.
Chuck
The
Berry.
Blueprint, that was pretty important. That, Kanye actually wrote a lot of this, I'm pretty sure. That's what he got his first thing. Aquemini, Outkast. Outkast are just goated. Bob Marley and Waiters, Exodus. I've never really got into the Ramones. I know they were important, but it's like Blitzkrieg Bop, and that's like it. And that song also sort of annoys me. They played it sick live though. That song has like,
also for someone, even for someone who's really interested in music, a little bit before your time, to the point where it's like anything you wanted to listen to, you could get the same sort of sound from other bands. You didn't have to go back and listen to them.
My only thing I really say about the Ramones is when they play Blitzkrieg Bob, for example. So like I was saying, they go and the song, the live versions, there's like 2 times the speed.
Yeah,
they really gave it their all, which is good. Prince is pretty goated. Sign of the Times, Illmatic, Nas, that's pretty goated as well. 44. Tribe Called Quest, The Low End Theory. I've never fully listened to this album. People love it. They always. OK Computer. A lot of people say this is one of the best albums of all time. I think it's fucking goated. I've been listening to it a lot recently. So many good songs on that.
Yeah, 43 songs according to Discord you've been listening to of Radiohead recently.
Maybe. Yeah, you sent me a thing on Discord. It was something about radio. I was like, what? And you just said, what back? I'm like, I don't know why you sent me that.
I don't remember us sending you. I remember us seeing your message and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because it sent me a thing and it said, it was like linking me and saying something about Radiohead on Discord. I was like,
I don't know. It popped up on the side and then you just said, message me what? And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars.
I did too. What the hell?
Yeah. You sent me something. What is it?
It's a screenshot from Discord of you listening to Radiohead. I don't remember sending that ever.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was like, what? Sorry, I'm listening. Sorry, I'm listening to.
I couldn't see that when I replied to your message the first time. You just
said, I'm a sad boy.
You just said, it said, huh? And I was like, huh? And I didn't see that little message above it.
Talking Heads, Bob Dylan, Dre, Off the Wall, big one. We've talked about that before. Rubber Soul. Stevie Wonder, Amy Winehouse. Album. I don't agree with Amy Winehouse.
Way too high. 33.
Do you feel like that's just because she died? She had a great voice.
I think it's probably a little bit because she died. I think maybe 100 up, it would be better. Lemonade.
Yeah, I don't really either. I feel like there's a few things. Are You Experienced? That's a great album.
Again, cool album cover.
The White Album. Shout out. Great.
It was born just when you were born, Brock. That came out.
I will say my White Album is definitely now
earlier, but sure.
No, my White Album is now the Cream album because it's so
old.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen D'Angelo Voodoo. Oh yeah, Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers, goated album. Fully recommend.
Aren't they doing a biopic on them as well? Or a TV show?
No, they're doing a video game.
They're doing a game. They already have a
That's right, it is a game.
There is a TV show, of Wu-Tang show. It's pretty good. Carole King, Tapestry, Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's, Velvet Underground. Everyone knows this album cover.
Banana.
With Andy
I'll
Warhol.
admit I do not.
You've never seen that before?
I've seen a banana. I've never seen an album cover with just a banana.
Okay, Guru, control your minions.
Ready to Die, Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G. Born to Run, Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, I mean, I had some good songs there. I don't know if it's that there. Kid A above OK Computer. I don't know. This is a really good album as well. I wonder if they're going to have In Rainbows.
The problem is going through all of these, I don't know the songs that well to be able to go, I know the songs from that album. I know the ones
this. Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah. I recognize the names of the album as we're going past some of them. Like when we're looking at Dark Side Moon, it's like, I know that one straight away.
It's on a t-shirt I saw.
Yeah. I could not tell you what songs are on that album, but I know that is an album. The same, like we've scrolled past, we've gone from 200 down to 20 now.
100.
From 100, sorry.
Yeah.
I've recognized maybe one in every 20.
You also don't listen to any music though.
Rarely, yeah.
Butterfly, yeah. No, I'm with you. Highway 61. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. This was a pretty good album, but
I don't know. I'd put Pimp a Butterfly ahead of that though.
Yeah. London Calling, The Clash. Do you know this album? Do you know the song London Calling? London Calling.
I'm sure if you played it, I'd recognize it. I know The Clash, but I just...
Yeah, this is like probably their... This is a famous cover of them. This is...
I don't
like how the colours clash on that album.
Yeah.
I don't recognize the album at all.
Public Enemy. Didn't think that would be that. Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street. I don't think I've even seen that album cover before. Aretha Franklin, I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You. Oh, Thriller. Everyone knows Thriller.
Yeah.
That is also extremely good. Revolver, Beatles, Lauryn Hill, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. That is also a very goated album.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan, Blood on the Tracks.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah. Prince, The Revolution, Purple Rain.
I do know that one.
Yeah. Fleetwood Mac, Rumours.
Also a goated album.
A very goated album. I still think the best Fleetwood Mac song is probably Tusk, though. That song's goated. Oh, Dougal. I better put that over there.
Just to draw focus to it.
Yeah, just to make sure you can see the little child's Dougal. It's right there.
Didn't the kid who came out for money?
He tried to sue him a while ago. I think we talked about that. Yeah, Nirvana, Nevermind. I don't have a problem with that being up there. Abbey Road, number 5.
You recognise that album cover, bro?
Yeah, of course.
Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life.
He's had like 5 albums in.
Yeah, Stevie Wonder. I feel like some of them, like people really rave about this one being really good. And there's some great Stevie Wonder songs, but I feel like there is some people that, especially with like music reviewers or critics, that they just suck their dick so much because of XYZ reason.
Calm down, bro. We can't see you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things online now. People saying that, like, what's your favorite conspiracy theory? And it's like Stevie Wonder's not actually blind.
Yep.
And it's so funny watching him explain it.
And it's like examples of like, I was in an elevator with him and he just pressed like level 6 right in front of me or something like that. Or like he was in an elevator and someone's walking and he's like, oh, sorry, man. And he gets out of the way like really quick, like things like that. Joni Mitchell, Blue. The Beach Boys, Pet Sounds. I like this album. I do think this gets its dick sucked a lot. And then what's number 1? Marvin Gaye, What's Going On?
I like Marvin Gaye. I don't know if I put it at number 1 though.
Yeah. I want to see where, if it is even on here. Is In Rainbows in here. This is probably my favorite Radiohead album.
I don't know if that's going to show you that.
Yeah, on the list.
Search the list.
Oh, well. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know why we did that.
Because we were just looking at what you asked us what the best album ever was.
Yeah, so what is the best album ever?
It's very
according
subjective.
to this, it's What's Going On.
What's going on?
Yeah. The only thing I know that from is the He-Man parody.
Thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really like that song.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It just seems like it's almost meant for a meme.
Yeah. You're wrong. You're not wrong.
What's going on?
Who sings that?
I don't know.
Is it just on there?
No, that's not the same song.
Marvin Gaye. Oh my god.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know any of these albums. I barely know these bands.
Oh my
You
god.
could have told me yes, and I would have believed you.
That's doing a disservice to Marvin Gaye telling you that.
Well,
And Mountain High Enough?
Okay, that one I do know.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, that is a goated song.
Not
Remember
that album, but
yeah.
same thing.
Oh well. We got to educate you, Brock. I'll get you on the Radiohead train.
Currently you're miseducated, so we'll listen to Lauryn Hill first.
Yeah, Lauryn Hill, and then we'll get you. You in that class, you're going to be Kid A, and we're going to go into the computer, and you're going to say, "Okay, computer."
All right.
And Tom will bend over and show you the dark side of the moon.
Dark side of the moon. Yeah.
What was I looking up? The He-Man song. I can't think
the He-Man song. Oh, Brock, we need to get you on some music. We should have brought you to Oasis.
That would have been, he would
remember. There is
so
one,
lost.
No, I have listened to Oasis quite a few times, but there was one song that, like, I actually owned because I'd purchased it. I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me at the moment. No.
That Supersonic could be my favorite song. Actually, no. Fucking, oh my god, how am I forgetting the name? It's not an old song. So Sally can wait.
I don't know.
Oh my god, how the fuck am I forgetting that?
The only one I remember, it's the opening.
Don't Look Back in Anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
of Eden of the East.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
knew you were gonna say that.
Apparently,
Falling Down.
Thank you. Yes.
Falling Down's a really good song.
That He-Man song is What's Up by a group called the Four Non-Blondes.
Ah, brown.
And their singer is Linda Perry. Did
Sounds
songwriter
like a
for
blonde
Courtney
song,
Love and a few other things.
Let's see if you know this song, Brock. If this lets me go on here.
Close your eyes.
Oh my god, fucking YouTube work. Let's do
Campaign Supernova.
No, Supersonic, because it's got Sonic in it. But I don't know, so we don't get a copyrighted bit tune.
Put your beanie down.
It doesn't. We don't. I just said what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, 8-bit version of Supersonic by Oasis. This is shit. Here we go. Get ready.
I mean, I'm listening. I'm ready. So it's.
You're the first recommended video. Don't be racist. I am a building. New Epstein footage is a disaster.
If I have heard this, it's.
I need to be myself. Can't be no one else.
It's hurting my
I'm
ears.
feeling supersonic. Give me gin and tonic. I'm basically Liam.
Can't say I've
And she
ever
makes
heard
me
this.
laugh.
It was played at work before, so you would have heard
I
it.
need
I've drowned most of that out because just. No,
Wait.
I don't think I've ever heard this before.
Wait, quickly shout out to no one. This is going to get this. At work, they've been every second song. Not harping on about Radiohead, but they've been playing Radiohead.
They played a lot yesterday. I noticed like
Heaps
4 songs in a row.
yesterday. I was talking to Pip about it, and I was leaving. And she's like, "They're playing another one." Oh well. We'll get you on the train of Supersonic. This song is pretty good.
I'll take your word for it because that cover of it was not.
Have you heard Seven Rings in Hand, Ben?
Potentially.
This is
Is it the Sonic?
I am
the Sonic
so
song you were singing
glad
earlier. I
that
have
Sonic
heard it.
Team has more or less not dropped Crush 40, but like they don't use them like for everything anymore.
Yeah, it was a bit weird. Surely we won't get striked for this. Surely. Now, apparently, this is peak music to a lot of people.
This is the only music they've ever listened to.
Yeah.
To be fair, if I was playing a Sonic game and this popped on, I would be kind of.
Wait, this would be like a gas. Is this in a gas moment? Like, was it hectic when
It's basically from memory. Not that I got to this point because I never. This is one of the Sonic games that I tried the first level and I was like, nope, don't care for this at all.
I reckon we should play this one.
I do know that this song, I believe, plays like near the end when you get like your big full power up, you turn into whatever its
Sonic
version of Supersonic is.
I don't want to. Fuck it. Let's make this a music episode, not the one we're thinking of.
Yep.
We've decided that like at 50 minutes into the episode.
We mentioned Tony Hawk.
We did. Is there like what songs in games can you think of that are like at hype moments?
Well, I know we've talked about the one that pops up in Metal Gear Solid Rising.
Right, I was just about to say Rising or Revengeance.
Yeah, the song
Fucking
that
Rules of Nature is hectic when that pops up. I'm tempted to get that up, but we've got to listen to the. Here we go, Ben. This song sucks.
Well, it's a passable song for a subpar game.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what songs I can think of from video games.
Oh, like Rules of Nature. Metal Gear Rising. This scene. This is right at the start of the game. Like this is like the tutorial section. I reckon this is hectic. Like I remember when this game came out, just going to watch people.
Do the 4K one down there.
Where? There.
Yep.
Yeah. I just remember watching people react to it, and everyone was like all YouTubers, and like, this is fucking hectic.
Yeah.
Bring it down.
This game is sick. If you ever want to play a game, that's fun. It's not super long.
Stop that plane.
I've had a lot more Metal Gear stuff pop up on my TikTok recently because of all the Gucci and the stuff with Death Stranding.
Yeah.
I love the fucking over the top shit Metal Gear.
See, but I think that's the best bit though, that like when it goes over the top, full on anime overpowered, that's when those songs really hit home.
Thematically in game, that's hectic because that's a Metal Gear Ray. I mean, you just fight a lot of them in Metal Gear Solid 2, but usually that is the final boss of a Metal Gear game, is the Metal Gear. And this is the tutorial. This is 4 minutes into the game, and you're already fucking them up. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the weapon to surpass all others.
Metal Gear, yeah. Shout out to Grannon. Too bad you died. Sorry to everyone who hasn't played Metal Gear Solid 4, the game that came out 21 years ago.
Any songs that strike you, Ben, as like pivotal moments?
I mean, there's original songs for the games, but they're more like people write them for, like, there's one of the ones of the God of War Ragnarok soundtrack, but it was written for the game, so it doesn't really count.
No, look, I would count that as
There's that one
counting.
Skrillex song in the Black Ops 2 campaign where you're in the nightclub.
I thought you were talking about
Make a Bundem from Far Cry. That is also goated, but it's
we
not
can't play that because that's a proper
I have
song.
from Far Cry 3.
We supposed to be
I do
Bob
remember
Marley's
those.
song. No, there's they have a Skrillex song in one of the like Raid a nightclub or something in Black Ops 2.
Yeah, I remember that.
And a ridiculous song. You can go back there in the multiplayer map and they play it sometimes at this little DJ desk thing and they play the song.
That's hectic.
Yeah, that's the only other one I can think of off the top of my head.
Did you guys ever play Crash Twinsanity?
I did. I never finished it.
I did
though.
not.
This game, very cool. Its soundtrack is all a cappella.
That's cool.
I didn't know it till years later. So, let me have a look. Down
With the sickness.
Yeah, that's it. Hill. There's a part where you go down on, like, let me do snow. And I loved this as a kid. Yeah, there's this part. Slip slide ice capades. Let's see if it plays it. So this is all a cappella. There's no instruments at all in this. It was a very strange game, this one.
It's very
fucking loved
Crash,
it.
though. Like
It is. This was after Naughty Dog, obviously. This is a few years after.
They had a few good games though.
They did.
Like Mind Over Mutant and Rule of the Titans or whatever it was.
What was the first one that
Crash
came
of the
out?
Titans.
Crash of the Titans.
The first one that came out after Naughty Dog. It was on PS2, GameCube. Wrath of Cortex.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
also
That was
another game
was
I had
big.
without a memory card, so I had to see how far I could get.
how far you could get.
One
Yeah.
set. Sitting.
That sucks so much.
Wrath of Cortex was really good because it was the only one that basically after Naughty Dog that was, besides the remakes and that fourth one that just came out a couple years ago, that was like the old formula.
Yeah.
Do you reckon the time's right for like action platformers like these to sort of make a comeback?
With how Astrobot did, probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
I think they need to be innovated like Astrobot.
Yes.
Astrobot did it well. The new Mario games have done it well. Like, I always remember the stuff at the end of Odyssey and like some of those hidden things. That was really fun.
Reboots like Cooper.
Yeah. All your 2D stuff, I don't think there's a lot of it that's translated
No,
as well.
that's more for like where the indie scene can really, really shine.
Yes, I feel like
is for
indie's
that.
better for that. Yeah.
But for like if you're doing a AAA game, you do a big 3D platformer.
Oh,
As much as
100%.
like 3D is not always great for platformers,
Yeah.
it's where the AAA industry should shine.
Well,
Yes.
I think they when they got a big hair on myself. Ratchet and Clank, the remake that they brought out for PS5 or whatever it was. The first one was okay, but it didn't really push anything. And then they got to the second one and ramped everything up, and it was a significantly better game because they actually took advantage of the hardware and made the game more challenging, and they've done a lot more things with the platforming, which made it worth playing. Whereas the first one was just like, oh, this is a cool retelling of the same story I already know.
What's the song that plays? There's the Grand Theft Auto. I think it's Grand Theft Auto 5. There's the jet mission.
I wasn't going to think of that, but yeah, keep going.
I know everyone raves about the song that plays during that.
What?
I have a feeling-
Danger Zone? Does that
That
play
is
in that?
that is one of them. Yes, that is also
that's from
a
obviously
great
from
song.
Top Gun.
But
Hearing that in Maverick the other day when I rewatched it was so good. Good way to
there
start
is
the
that
movie.
mission. No, there's another one. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up in my mind with that mission with Danger Zone. There's another mission you play.
I don't know.
I thought it was
Quickly,
in the jet, but I could be wrong.
I think Top Gun Maverick is way better than the original Top Gun.
Oh,
I think
1000%.
the original Top Gun is so overrated. Danger Zone's probably one of the best parts of that movie in the volleyball.
Seeing the flashback scenes in Maverick of it, you
Yeah.
can just tell. Like I watched a behind the scenes thing of where they were like filming Top Gun, and it's like, cool, here's a big crane thing we put on like a joist, and then the plane's on top of that, and it's just moving around like a amusement ride. So stupid.
Can you remember?
I can't remember.
I'll have a look.
The song I was thinking from GTA 5 was right at the end of the game when it goes to the credits. I don't know if it's on all the endings, definitely on the good ending. When you push, what was it, not Michael, what, something Madrazo?
Michael Madrazo.
Is it Michael Madrazo? Okay. Oh yeah, well the drug lord or whatever, you push him off in the back of the car into the ocean with the three main characters, and it plays, was it for Night City or something, or Midnight City? They play that song.
Oh yeah, by M83 or whatever it is.
M83, yeah. I would need to get it up.
Are you
Fuck
thinking
it, I'm gonna get it
of,
up. I'm gonna get it up. We might have to.
I've got here GTA 5 Rebel Radio CW McCall Convoy theme song GTA Flight School.
I remember Convoy.
Yeah. What other game was that in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude,
That was
playing
hectic.
online every time that song comes on. Anytime anyone tried to change the radio, if I was playing with mates, they tried. I'd be like, "No, you leave it."
That was definitely like an experience.
Yeah.
When that finished and that played, I was like, oh yeah, that's sick.
I can't wait for the music in the new game.
Yeah.
You have that one, then you swap over to the whatever the rock and roll station is, where they've got Kenny Loggins actually like on the station, and then it like swaps over to We Built This City.
We built this city.
Yeah.
I think that use of that song is because it was a scripted use. The GTA radio, I feel like, is different. It's not like a hype thing a lot of the time because it's just there.
Yeah.
Where that was a scripted use, we're going to use this song at this time, and it worked really well. It very much puts, when I hear that song, I feel like I'm back in 2013.
Nostalgia trip.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Every time you hear that song now, and it's like they take a clip from a game or something or a movie, and then they cut like all the best moments out of after that song.
Yeah.
It's the exact same feeling.
Yeah.
Doesn't even matter if it's all just shit moments from Sonic, but it's still funny.
You know what? We got those rings.
7 of them.
I'm
God,
still
yeah.
trying to think of it like any other thing, but my mind keeps turning back to like Sonic songs. And I'm just like, I've played more games than just
The
Sonic
Ocarina
games.
of Time.
Oh,
Ocarina
no.
of Time. No, remember we got in trouble for not liking that one.
Yeah,
That's
look,
fine. Fuck them.
it was a fine game
not
at the
even not
time.
liking
It's
it,
just
yeah. Or leave it.
The songs in it are.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, look, Song of Storms is good, but anyway.
I will say, I think you guys wouldn't have experienced this. You need to play the whole series for it to matter, but it's still a cool idea. Is the final boss fight or the final part of Metal Gear Solid 4? It's a massive set piece. It's really cool, but you fight someone and there is 4 stages of the fight. So it's a small thing. Like it's just like once you get them to this part of the health, you fight this person. The health bars, they change every stage of the fight. The first part of the fight, it's the original Metal Gear Solid health bar. The second part of the fight, Metal Gear Solid 2 health bar. Third part of the fight, Metal Gear Solid 3 health bar, and then 4, whatever. But they play like the main themes from those games during that part of the fight. And it comes up on the side of the screen saying like alert status or whatever the song was called. It'll have like the main theme from Metal Gear Solid 1 while you're doing this first part of the boss fight, and then you punch this person, whatever. Then it plays the theme from the second game. Then it plays Snake Eater, and then it plays the old Snake theme while it's playing. I've talked to McGuinness about this before. I think that is definitely like the coolest boss fight I've ever played.
We definitely need to get him on for a music.
Yeah, it needs to be not bald.
What is the moment, like, not the most important moment where music like spoke to you in a game, but what's your first memory of playing a game and the music just hit that moment where you were fully invested and it drew you in? Like usually a story moment, but it could also be just like a gameplay moment. Or
There's so many games where I think they use music really well. I think
Dragonborn from Skyrim, when you load that up, it gets me even more hyped
Yeah.
when you turn it
when
on.
you
Yeah, I
when
don't
you
think-
load it up, but that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
there's
no,
anything
definitely
like
not.
that throughout the
I
game.
will say not all, I won't say all, I shouldn't say all. Majority of the Bethesda games, particularly after 2005, they all have like that main menu music of like, oh, here we go. This is gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
like,
but it's not like that in the game.
no, like
that's the
Fallout 3, decent menu music. Yep. Skyrim, New Vegas. I'd actually say New Vegas might be the weaker one there.
Yeah, no, true.
And then
I
Fallout
agree.
4 was back to like, oh yeah, here we go.
But New Vegas has by far the best radio out of all the games.
yes,
Like the people who like,
no contest there at
yeah,
all.
people like Fallout 3's is good. Fallout 4's is okay. Oh my god, if I go into anywhere and to the tower of our freedom,
Yeah.
of the stranger one find. Ooh.
I had someone try to tell me, it was like, no, it was nowhere near as good as Fallout 2's radio. I was like, Fallout 2 didn't have a radio.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? No, it did. Remember, you press the key, this button, like you change it, blah, blah. I was like, you've never played Fallout 2 because you
Yeah.
just described Fallout 3.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, that was a little tangent.
Yeah,
of
that was
just
a
someone being
little
dumb.
annoyance from
For me, like the moment that sticks out in my mind of like the first moment that music really sort of hit that emotional sort of like, oh, this is amazing. This is going to sound weird. Rayman 2, The Great Escape. The moment where you've just defeated like the first world boss, I think it is, and like you're going up to meet Pelucus, the guy who like made the 4 masks that are pivotal to the game. And there's this like
You've
sort of-
already lost me.
I'm just describing it. It's like this big ambient sort of moment of like, ooh, there's this very mysterious, mystical being you're going up to talk to. I don't know what it was about that moment, but
I get you.
it drew me in like nothing else had up to that point.
Oh, are you talking about just the game itself or the music from it?
The music
Okay,
the music for like 'cause that whole point is a cutscene. You fall through this doorway after being the boss, and then it transitions into cutscene, and he walks up this long slope to this guy that's facing away from him.
Yeah.
And, like starts talking.
I will say I think Metal Gear is one of the better uses of music during impactful scenes, but that's because Kojima is making it like a movie. He's always done that. It's like that in Death Stranding. I won't harp on about that too long, but there's some great points in that. I can't think as much in actual gameplay as much, but one thing 100% that invokes a massive feeling for me when I'm playing a game is especially Resident Evil, the original ones with the save room themes. Massive. Like I've seen like the directors talk about these before, and like the and also the composers being like, the save rooms are the only safe point in those games. As soon as you walk out, you can be fucked over. It's just the save room that will save you up. So they try and invoke a sort of sense of either safety but also uncertainty in them, and all those themes are so good. The Code Veronica one's so good, the Resident Evil 2 one's good, and then the Resident Evil 4 one is you're not actually safe. It's just that there's a typewriter there and it's a bit more eerie. They're really good. I really rate those.
Yeah.
I don't remember if they're newer games. It's really only just the old ones. I remember it's from before 4 and that. But yeah.
I'm just realizing, like, I've never really thought about it before. I've played I've played Resident Evil 1 a little bit. I've played Resident Evil 2 a little bit. I've played a heck of Resident Evil 4. I don't think I've ever touched Resident Evil 3.
Most people haven't. Well, not most people. A lot of people haven't. Have I told you the lore of Resident Evil? Not actual lore of the game, but what the go is with 3?
Of Nemesis?
Yeah.
I mean, go for it. I don't know.
Capcom had a deal with PlayStation that I think it was either prior to the first game coming out or after, where they made a deal. You're going to have X amount, I think it was 3 or 2, dependent, of mainline Resident Evil games on the PlayStation. So the first Resident Evil came out in 96.
Mm-hmm.
The second one came out in 98, I believe. And then they were developing Code Veronica. And they had a side game called Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. But they had to put Code Veronica was on newer consoles. I believe this is the story. Was a bit more intensive because it was on the Dreamcast and the PS2 and things like that. But they still had this deal with PlayStation. So Code Veronica was supposed to be the third game technically, and then Nemesis was a spin-off. They had to flip names around, or the title, like made 3 the third game and Code Veronica the spin-off because of this deal. So they put that on there. So if you haven't played Resident Evil Code Veronica, it is technically Resident Evil 3. If you play that game and you play 3, you'll realize, because 3 definitely feels like just a side story thing with a couple things. Code Veronica is where all the shit happens.
Yeah.
And it really does. So if you haven't played that game, you're doing yourself a disservice because it's great.
See, now I've heard a similar story, but it wasn't PlayStation. It was Capcom and Nintendo. That Capcom had promised Nintendo 4 exclusives or something, and they only got 3 of them. And technically, they also didn't remain exclusives. They got Beautiful Joe, Resident Evil 4, PN03, which you probably never even heard of because I'm probably one of 8 people that actually ever played that game. And they never really got a 4th. I could be wrong on this. There may be a 4th game, but...
Well, they also released Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil or RE1 or R remake on the GameCube as well.
Okay.
So they had 3 games and they were exclusive.
Okay, so it maybe was part of that deal then. But I know that the people have quite often talked about like the missing game that like was supposed to be an exclusive to Nintendo, and that Capcom never delivered on it. And also every other single, well, apart from PN03, Resident Evil 4 then went to every
PS2.
other console.
I don't think it was on Xbox.
No, it wasn't, but it's definitely on PC and PS2.
And Wii.
Yeah, although that's a bit more excusable because it was still Nintendo.
Yeah, different console though.
Yeah, Beautiful Joe definitely went to PlayStation. PN03 just lived and died on the GameCube. And
Have you been on a P&O cruise
game.
before?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't. Was it number 3?
No, it was in like 2006.
I didn't say the year, but that's close enough. Yeah, but that's the story I know of with Resident Evil. But were you saying you can't? Oh no, you said you just hadn't played 3. I thought you hadn't.
I have
you don't
no
remember
memory of ever playing.
I thought
3.
you didn't remember the music in it. Sorry.
Well, I mean, I don't because I never played it.
No, like in all of them.
Oh no, I remember the music from. I definitely remember 4. That's the one I've played the most.
Resident Evil 4. I think
I'm still yet to play.
You need to play. You really do. You will love the Resident Evil 4 remake, the 2 remake. The 3 remake is probably the worst one out of the lot. The 2 and 4 are really good. You didn't play the 3 remake?
No, I didn't.
Well, why would I play 3 when I could just play Code Veronica?
Because I haven't remade Code Veronica.
Can I not still play it somewhere?
Yeah, you can. It's on like everything. Hey, this is one thing I will say. Bethesda get a lot of shit for releasing Skyrim on everything. Resident Evil is on fucking everything.
Yeah.
They've re-released that game so many fucking times.
Also on iOS.
It is.
Yeah, until you can play Skyrim on a phone, like, no.
Both versions of the original Resident Evil 4 was also on iOS like 15 years ago.
Yeah. Wild. Bring back Bad Company on the iPod Touch.
Yeah,
that
I
was
remember
great.
that. No, the best iPod Touch game?
Doodle Jump.
No, Call of Duty Zombies.
Also very goated. Bluetooth multiplayer on the bus to school.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember it in art class.
There was another caveman game that was sort of like Worms as well, which was pretty good. I can't think what it was
There was
called.
a ton of good iOS games back in the day.
I've still got mine. If I had a 30 pin, we could charge it up and see what games are on it. But
I've got a 30 pin at home. I'll bring it in next
There's
time.
30 pins at work.
no, they used to be. I don't think we've got them anymore.
No, I'll get them in LBQ stock. Shout out to the people who know what that means. I mean, you could play Code Veronica. If you play Resident Evil 1 Remake, which came out in 2001, that's already looking... Actually, that game looks extremely good for how old it is.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know Resident Evil 1 Remake looks really good because they pre-rendered everything?
A very odd choice in 2001.
Yeah, no, but they pre-rendered everything. Like, I think they're... Fuck, I need to look into this or something. It's like... Everything is like a painting or like a photo. Like they...
it's a matte texture.
It's a matte texture that's super high res.
Even in the old Star Wars movies, so they got someone in to paint the background so it looked more realistic.
But it looks like... It feels like it's 3D.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
really well done. That's why that game looks so good then. Still looks good now with the remaster that they've done. Then if you went to Resident Evil 2 Remake, which goes from being the same third-person like tank controls to a third-person survival horror action-esque game, and then you went if you skipped, and then he went to Code Veronica, and you're going back even further, which is way more tanky controls. Then he went to the Resident Evil 4 remake, which came out 2 years ago, and is like super modern third-person action game.
Yeah.
You're going to be going all over the shop.
Give me something to do.
Yeah, fair. You would enjoy them. They're great games. I think you should at least play 4. I think I might replay 4.
I want Brock to hurry up and play Black Ops 1.
Yeah, we can do that soon, I reckon.
Yeah, I'll get there.
You say that, but we've been doing this for a year now.
Yeah.
Almost coming up on a year. We haven't skipped a week yet, which is pretty epic. Shout out to all the people that subbed last week as well. We got a big influx.
Thank you.
We now are better than the
Guess you
Plan
just
B
all hate me.
podcast. Yeah, they do. They do hate you. Sucked in. You should have just had a better week.
I would have had nothing to contribute to either of those conversations from last week.
I mean, Brock held his own pretty well. I just didn't shut up about Death Stranding for about an hour, and he was pretty good with it. And then what do we talk about after it?
Pirate Software.
Yeah.
Which is probably good I mentioned that. We've been going for an hour and 15.
Yeah,
we'll go for a
Pirate
little bit
Software,
more.
and then we talked about Gabe and Steve Jobs and all the other
Gabe and
billionaires.
Lorne and Phil. So last week we talked about the Stop Killing Games initiative thing and all the stuff with Pirate Software. Since we talked about that, it has gone... It's skyrocketed. They've hit their goal.
Yeah, it's like a ridiculous amount.
They needed
of
1 million signatures. They got that to that. To be fair, I still don't know if they have officially hit legitimate 1 million
Yeah,
signatures.
I know there's
This
been
is
some
what,
concerns over the legitimacy of some of them.
yeah,
but
the guy
they're
who
over 1 million.
yes, where they were at 300,000 or 400 or something. The guy who ran it all, Ross, he came out with a video saying, I think only 60% of these are probably legitimate, so don't stop.
Yeah.
Please keep going. Please don't stuff
And it's
around
not so
with
much
it.
that like people are faking signatures and that. It's that these signatures need to be from the UK and some of them may be from other countries.
Yeah, with fake info. Oh, no, this is the one for the EU. The EU is really the one
Sorry,
they want to
EU,
push.
not UK.
But same idea, yes. There is a UK one though. They're doing 2. So they hit their signature goal, looking really good. Since then, Pirate Software has come out even more so and just quadrupled down. And he is losing all good faith that he had.
Yeah.
He really is.
Honestly, he should have just taken the L and just shut up and just gone back
Yeah, but
to
that's not his
cool,
personality, but he's just
No.
going to keep going until he can get some minute thing that proves him a little bit right,
Well,
and he'll just sit on that high horse for months.
You know what? He put a couple of things out saying, I'm not talking about this anymore. I hope they get the goal they wanted, and I hope they get nothing that they wanted at the same time. So he hopes that it passes, but it fucks up the law and everyone gets screwed over.
Yeah.
And he was right in the end. And he was quiet. And then a while later, I think he posted a graph on Twitter being like, look at this. This proves that my video did nothing to the cause. It was already going down and it didn't make any difference. And then the person who made this graph said, oh, this is the wrong one or something. This is a different info. Here's the one with way more context. And his video that he put out 9 months ago definitely made a massive impact to people signing it. And he, of course, he went quiet again after that.
Yeah,
There's been a lot of shit going on. He put a video out saying that he's been targeted for people are harassing him and doing some stuff. Don't attack him.
He works
Just
for Blizzard. Don't attack him.
Yeah. Don't attack him. Don't be an arsehole to him. But
Yeah,
at
let
the
him just die in silence like
Yeah.
his channel should at this point.
that's a big jump from you since you were a big fan for a while.
Well, we both were at one
Yeah.
point, but I mean,
I like his Dune videos because he just talks about Dune.
and that's what he should have stayed doing.
Yeah.
Just talk about the stuff that you're directly doing. Don't talk about stuff that you are only slightly tangentially
I moved on to that other
which
guy.
I know is
that's-
a bit, hypocritical, me saying that. But anyway.
There's some other guy who's been doing content. It's similar to Pirate Software. His name's or someone.
Con Carnage or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, he's another older guy.
I swapped to him. He's got a podcast with 2 other guys as well, I think. But they do it. I think it's on Twitch or something like that.
Yeah.
I might know the guy.
You'd
as well.
recognize
probably
it if
do.
you see
You
it.
Yeah,
probably would.
I've seen him do a bunch of stuff for Cyberpunk and
I don't remember. He doesn't explain everything to me like I'm a child on MS Paint.
But no, he's got some good takes, which is interesting. He was talking about the Pirate Software and the whatever the movement was called. I've completely spaced my
Stop
mind.
killing
killing
games.
games.
Yeah. The one thing I will say with the Pirate Software thing, just before we get off it, is shouldn't attack him, but at the same time, some of his responses were acting like, why am I getting all this hate? You shouldn't be hating on me for this. But in that first video that he made, he was being a fucking asshole to this Ross
he
guy.
was, yeah.
He was saying, this is fucking shit. This is terrible. Eat my ass. Something else along the lines of fucking, what was it?
He was being
used car sales. He's being really rude to him, like
being
directly.
very toxic about it. Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, we'll see how Pirate Software goes. I don't know how much of his channel's been impacted. I know he's been getting hate, obviously, and he is definitely the topic of the month to hate. That clip that we put up about us talking last week hit like 11K, and basically all the comments are like, fuck him. Oh, did you know that he worked at Blizzard? That's the big thing.
Some poor man is getting bullied in the comments as well.
Yeah, so some poor man was getting bullied. Just have a better opinion, I guess. Say that about us as well, though.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else we want to talk about, big dogs?
Not this week. I can save stuff for next week.
And what else are you going to do?
Well, we can save it there.
All right. See ya.